Let me set it up. God, I didn't bring my tripod, but God gave me one. Gave me a stick, and I'm using it. So today I want to talk about something I feel like I have dealt with a lot in my past, and a lot of my adulthood, and a lot of my youth, and something I still go through today. I'm not gonna lie, I do suffer today. I still do suffer today, but I don't reminisce on my past suffering, and I don't reminisce, and I don't play victim to my suffering. It happened to me. It's okay. I'm okay now, and I'll continue to be okay. Growing up, I wasn't the most attractive person. I wasn't the prettiest girl. I wasn't the most popular, but I was myself, and I wasn't afraid to be myself. But I did get picked on either for my weight or for my teeth or, who I was friends with. People would talk about me. I would get picked apart and pulled apart many times to the point where I started feeling like I had to change myself in order to fit in. And I would, make all these changes, and I would start doing everything that everybody else was doing just to fit in, just so they would stop talking about me. And so the more I changed myself to fit in, the more I changed myself so they wouldn't single me out anymore, is when I started to lose myself more. I started to become more angry because the person that I was conforming myself to be wasn't the person that I was, and I had lost my sense of self, and I would just keep getting more and more angry. And I got to a point in high school where it started to become violent. And I'm glad that I learned that lesson so early on, because when you go into adulthood, people are going to do the same thing. People will do the same thing to you. It's not really something that's, people are not going to like you whether you like yourself or not. There's going to be somebody that's always going to find an issue. And I learned that it's most of the time, it's just anything that they say to you, anything negative that they say to you is something that they would say to themselves. And it's always just a projection. You can't take too much. You can't take it to heart. You just can't take it to heart, because it's always an inner dialogue that they would say to themselves is what they're saying to you. But I'm glad that I learned this lesson now, because it taught me a lot about suffering, and I'm glad that I suffered, because I wouldn't have learned these lessons about myself, about how other people would treat me, if I didn't go through that. It did get worse at a point. I would cut myself and I would hurt myself because I had a lot of self-hatred, and I felt like the only way to express all of the pain that I was internalizing was to do it physically, and still nobody recognized my pain because it was all within. And for me to hold it in, and for me to not express it in a healthy outlet, nobody was going to listen to me. I've wanted to die many times because of how much that I hated myself, how much that I just felt like it would be better, just being dead than dealing with all of this internal pain. And I decided, and I've been in and out of mental institutions, outpatient treatment centers, for them to figure out what's wrong with me, try to diagnose it and try to fix it. But I had to decide when I was going to fix it, when I was going to say, hey, I'm done suffering. Hey, I'm done feeling like this. I had to decide that. And of course, it's not linear. You're not gonna, I didn't stop cutting myself in one day. I would relapse, I would start having these thoughts again, and I still do sometimes. I still have these thoughts, and it still comes back in waves, but it's temporary, and it's not always the end factor, and it's not always the baseline. You don't have to make that the baseline. You don't always have to be sad or depressed. It's your own choice. It's your own suffering that allowing you to be that way. And I had to decide that for myself. Nobody was going to do that for me. No matter how many times they gave me medication to regulate my emotions, or how many times that I had to, go through breathing exercises, or, find healthy outlets and coping mechanisms. It takes time, and it's not linear. So don't beat yourself up about being able to heal all your traumas and heal all of your suffering in one day. It's not linear, and it may look like it on the outside, but it always comes back, and you have to be prepared to push yourself back in the right direction when it does come back. But all of this suffering was necessary. I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad that I went through all of that suffering when I did, because it taught me so many lessons about myself, and it taught me that the only thing that can hurt me is myself. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You can say that, yes, and you can also say no. There are some times where words can't hurt you, but that's only if you let them. It's only if you let them. That suffering was necessary for me to see that. So anybody suffering, just know that this too shall pass. That's why I have this on my wrist. This too shall pass. Your suffering isn't permanent. You won't always feel this way, and know that you are deserving of happiness. Everybody is deserving of happiness, even the people that cause me suffering. I wish nothing but the best for them. But nothing but the best for them. I wish nothing but happiness for them. Everybody in this life is deserving of happiness, and I just feel like once you recognize that suffering is necessary in order for a lesson to be taught, you can realize that you are able to experience happiness. You can't have happiness without knowing what suffering is. Because how would you know if you're happy if you've never suffered? You wouldn't be able to know the difference. So, but yeah, that's my little spiel on, suffering and like all the things I've been through. If you want to talk to me about, if anybody wants to talk to me about these kinds of things, please do, because I'm always an open ear. I'm always listening to people's issues. I've always been there, done that. If anything you can think of, I've been there, done it, and I've felt all the emotions from it. And not to say that I've been through every situation, but I could tell you a thing or two about suffering because I've been there before, and I can tell you that it's not gonna last forever. So this is what I was using. This is what I was using for a tripod, but I didn't have it, and then I dropped my phone in the fucking water. So, but yeah, if this video helped you, please leave a like, subscribe, because I'm always doing these little videos. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.